So here we are. I have this version of it that you've seen before, and I like what's going on, but I want to take some risks. I want to try some new things. I'm going to do something real easy. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and keep it as a Photoshop document for the time being. But I'm just going to add in the file name, I'm going to add a B. As long as you do Save As, you can do that. I'm going to add a B, and I'm going to save it. So now, what's happened is that I have two versions. I have the regular version, and then I have the B version, which I can take risks, and I can always go back to the original version without worrying about what's happened. So I can try moving things, I can try adding layer styles, I can add or delete pictures, I can rotate, and I can always go back to the original. Today, as you're working, you should be first starting on your collage or continuing your collage with your original images. No more practice images yet at this point. Everybody should have their own images. Once you have something that you think you like, save it and try that version B where you can explore other variations. That will give me something to compare and contrast when I come around next time. I want to look at your two versions, and we can talk about what's working best in each one so that you can choose the best image out of all of them. After that, think about your second group, the images that you took for the second group. You don't have to waste those just because the requirement is a minimum of one good collage. You might end up with two very strong collages from this project. That would definitely be a good next step after you've tried variations of your favorite group. So you've seen this image a few times now. I want to show you a few things that you can do to add a little variety to yours. We looked at how to add the border or the shadow, and if you're trying to remember how to do that, you can double click in this kind of open area next to a layer. So I would double click, and that would bring up my layer styles. This is an option. We looked at stroke, we looked at drop shadow. Those are options that you can consider, and if you have further questions about that, you can go back to the tutorial related to that. I'm going to just click cancel. Another option, I can click on an object, and over here in my layers panel it says normal. I can explore, these are called blending styles, and there's a few you can explore different ones. Don't go crazy and make it psychedelic and choose difference and have it inverted. In most cases you're not going to do that, but one that you might try is darken. Okay, you kind of blend a little bit, and wherever this is darker, it's going to overwrite the image, so it almost twists it in between a little bit. In some cases, I was looking at one yesterday where there was a person running and there was grass and they were darker, and so it almost allowed them to look like they were closer together, and then it was kind of woven together in this way. So that's the darken option. Or another option might be multiply, and they kind of overlap a little bit. So here you can see this has been multiplied. Let's see what happens over here if we try multiplying this one. Going to change that to normal to multiply. Kind of cool. You see a little bit of this image. You see a little bit of the image underneath. Now it's going to be darker, but in some cases that might be nice. So let's try over here. And maybe that's something that you repeat throughout. Okay, kind of an interesting effect that it has, and it definitely influences the composition. So that is an option. I'm going to Command Z to undo this. Now if I want to keep going back, a little trick is Command Option Z. That's going to keep going back in time to the way I had it before. Okay, so that's where we started. So what's another thing that you can do to kind of make it unique, make it yours? I'm going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and we're going to make it black and white. Okay, now the whole thing is black and white, and you might say, that's okay, but I like the color. And I agree, I liked the color as well. We'll get to that in just a moment. The black and white gives you some options. where you can adjust based on the yellows, reds, these different colors in the image that you can darken, brighten, and it gives you a lot of control of the lights and darks within a black and white image. Okay, so some of these, either watch these shadows down here as I adjust the reds, become less distinguished or more distinguished. Okay, so those are things you can play with in the black and white layer and might become interesting on some images moving forward. But I said I liked the color, but it's all black and white. What if I want just certain images to be in color? This is on top right now. I can actually drag this, and any layers that it's below will suddenly gain color. So I can have this so that only certain images that are above this adjustment layer, turn back to being in color.